I am here with Amy Youngren, a good friend of mine from North Group Real Estate in Canada. You're in what market?
Toronto.
All
Toronto.
right. Very cool.
Yeah.
A little background. Amy and I have known each other for, gosh, 6 years, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
at least. Mhm.
yeah, met at a curator conference, and we have been strategic partners. We talk 2 or 3 times a year with our staff sometimes,
Mhm.
and have followed a similar trajectory, and someone that I have admired, looked up to, basically vented and cried. And so
And likewise.
yeah, so a very good friend in business and friend in life.
Sponsored by Spyglass Realty. If you're an agent listing in another city or state, we will take great care of your clients and pay a referral fee. If you're an agent in Austin that's thinking of making a move, let's talk.
Tell us what your company is now and what the
Mhm.
makeup is, and
Mhm.
then we'll want to go back after that.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So, well, first of all, thanks for having me. Super honored to be here. Honored with an Honored
Ah,
for the Canadian in me. Yeah, so I founded North Group just over 4 years ago, June 2017. We are a team of 13 agents, three operational and sales staff, and yeah, just humming along and on a little bit of a growth spurt right now, which is super exciting. We kind of just took 2020 to get our footing with COVID setting in and everything, so we just stayed pretty consistent with where we were at from an agent count. But yeah, so we're 13 agents strong now.
okay. And what did you do in your life before real estate? So
Yeah,
what's your
sure.
history? So where are you from? Ontario?
I was born, yeah, I was actually born outside of Toronto, in the Niagara region, which is about an hour from here. But I'm one of those stories where, my mom and dad split up when I was super young. I was like 4 years old, and my mom said to my dad, that she wanted to go west to like the western province of BC in Canada, so the furthest west side of Canada, and get a fresh start on life. So she went out there for a year and then decided that she was going to stay. So I was one of those kids with divorced parents that kind of flew back and forth across the country my entire life. When I finished high school, I ended up, leaving BC and coming back to Ontario, the Niagara region, living with my dad. Went to school, went to college there, and then just moved on from there. So prior to getting into sales, I was actually corporate in the real estate industry for just over a decade, and
Okay.
started where I was, answering the phone, and then worked into my way into helping with the training department. Then I ran the training department. Then I moved into event planning. And then I had the opportunity to transition for the last 5 years I was there into a leadership and executive role where I was overseeing all of the affiliate partnerships for the real estate company. So I was basically putting together the deals, the contracts, the opportunities for agents and brokers to work directly with different types of companies to grow their businesses using their products and services. So technology, printing, signage, you name it. That was
Well,
so.
any companies that we know on there?
Oh, probably, yeah,
Yeah.
probably. But that was also now a little while ago, so that's changed so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, very similar to uh, how we met through Curator.
Yeah.
Uh, so let's just say Curator had a corporate relationship with like Keller Williams International, or
Yeah.
directly with an independent like Spyglass, I would have put that deal together.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah.
And so what made you decide to get your license?
So I was so exposed to seeing the time and financial freedom, which looked like time and financial
Right.
freedom of being a real estate agent. And I was actually had freshly gone through a separation divorce at the time that like left me completely blinded, didn't see it coming at all. And I was starting over again. And I was like, how am I going to achieve my financial goals when I am capped?
Yeah.
And I was in an environment where I've seen a lot of change in the company in the last number of years.
We were talking about how you decided to become a real estate agent. How long ago was that?
7 years ago.
7 years ago.
So 7 years ago, I actually, when I was still in my corporate job, I already had my license. I was just dabbling very, very part-time with like family or friends. And I had a really good year sales-wise that last year that I was working full-time in corporate and selling real estate. And I got invited to a motivational breakfast, actually. The speaker spoke for 2 hours straight. I don't remember a single thing that she said, with the exception of, if you've outgrown the pot you're planted in, you need a bigger pot or your roots are gonna die. That was on a Friday, and Monday morning, I gave in my resignation. And 4 weeks later, I was an entrepreneur, and the rest is history.
So did you start as a single agent or?
I did.
Okay. And you never went to a team?
No, I didn't. And I now, in building a team, have put together a model that actually combats exactly why I didn't join a team. I wanted to join a team. I interviewed with and talked to a ton of team leaders because I'm a big collaboration person. I truly believe in further, faster together. Everything is about being better together. Everything to do with sports. I mean, I read on everything to do with team building, Navy SEALs, like you name it. I've like indoctrinated that into my life and my thinking. So I believe that there is so much power in the team. And I think that the consumer actually is becoming more and more savvy in 2021 and onward, that they know they can either hire a solo agent to do literally everything, or they can hire a team or like in your case, an independent brokerage that has that support system behind that individual agent. And so I think that there's a lot of power in that. And so when I was interviewing, I actually looked at like what stopped me. So when we were building up the North Group model, I was like, what stopped me from joining a team when I wanted to badly? And the first and foremost thing was, number one, I didn't want to lose my name. I'd worked so hard to build my name amongst my friends, my network, in the industry itself. I was like, I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm building somebody else's name. And then secondly, my passion in life is marketing and branding. And I was like, there's no way that if I can't have established the Amy Youngren brand in some capacity, that I was going to give that up for somebody else. And then number three, I wasn't going to give up 50% of my commission constantly. And so and in team building, I've dabbled in it over the last number of years, and I've seen what's worked and what hasn't. And now we've established a model that is attracting and keeping top producers to want to be in business with us because of those three things. Number one, they can keep the lion's share of their commission when they bring the business to the table, and they can work within our co-brand model under the umbrella, the North Group umbrella, very similar exactly to how you guys operate at Spyglass. Yeah,
totally. So okay, when did you start? Because you started, it was your first name, you rebranded with Urban, what was it?
Urban Lifestyle Group. So when I first started a team, which was about two to 3 years into being on my own, so probably maybe the end of my second year, being a realtor. Urban Lifestyle Group was myself, Sarah, who still works with it. She was the very first person I ever hired, and I was like, come, let's build something big together. Literally just me, myself, and I. Thankfully she's still here. And then once Sarah and I got things started, we launched with Urban Lifestyle Group with one brand, and then we started to grow from there.
I think that you were the first person that I ever saw that embraced those video walkthroughs to the level, right? And I mean, I just remember seeing that. That was like 5 years ago. I mean, I'm sure somebody was doing it, right?
Do you know, like, honest, I say this like super humbly, but I say it with like an ounce of like being proud of myself too. But when I first started video marketing in Toronto, there was almost nobody doing it at all.
You were the first I
was one of the first. I absolutely was, because the videographers were like, you want to do what? You want me to do what? And I was like, and because I had, in my corporate role, I had one of the jobs that I had was to help to facilitate our annual convention for thousands of people. So I had a lot of like event technology, multimedia coordination experience. And so I brought that into my video marketing so that I could like really communicate with the videographer what it is that I want, like the vision of what I wanted to establish. And so, yeah, something I'm actually quite proud of.
Oh, well, you should be, and you were recognized for it from Inman. And I mean, I copied you, I know. So I put my beautiful wife on the videos instead of me. Yeah, so, but
she is.
Yeah. So that kind of gave you some exposure, name recognition in your market, and as well as others, but in your market, right?
Yeah, it did. And we were doing that under the umbrella of Urban Lifestyle Group.
Right.
But as we started to grow and as we started to think about, you know, growth from like, you know, being in business with more people, more agents, selling more real estate, you look at the Greater Toronto area, and there's only a small portion of it that's very urban. That's the bottom line. The rest is the suburbs, or it's like further out. So we actually decided to rebrand to North Group in June of 2017. And we've just been, you know, going in that direction ever since. And so the purpose behind North Group is that when you think North, you think true North, North Star, north of the border, which because we do get a decent amount of incoming business from the US to Canada because Toronto is such a major hub in Canada. And then most of all, you think North Star, you think like, I know my guide, I know what direction I'm going, I know exactly where I'm heading. And that's the meaning, the purpose behind North Group.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, and that was kind of inspiring for me because my company at that time was about 10 years old. And I had a logo that I actually really liked, but it was just outdated and the colors were outdated. And at the time I was Spyglass Realty and Investments. And that's because we started this company doing primarily investments, and then that completely morphed out. So, you know, I know you went through a rigorous process with that. I consulted with you.
So much work.
Yeah, so much work. I actually hired your brother-in-law, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's the person that or his company is who I worked alongside to really put my vision into motion. And they're really great at that. Shout out Symmetric Productions.
Yeah, no, he was great with us too. And that it was one of the best things I've ever did. So you went to from Urban Lifestyle to North Group. That was 2 years ago.
4 years ago. 4 years ago.
Oh, is it 4 years?
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, 4 years. So you know, one of the best pieces of advice that I got but I actually didn't listen to, and we all make mistakes. They're learning lessons. You know, at the end of the day, if you're not making mistakes and then you're not growing. That's ultimately. So Ben Kinney said to me once, and for those that don't know, he's like the top Keller Williams team leader in all of the company. And he said to me about 5 or 6 years ago, he's like, Aim, when you start building a team, he's like, don't try to reinvent the wheel. He's like, the plan is already laid out for you. And he's like, don't try to reinvent it. And when we faltered when we tried to grow too quickly in 2017 to 18 by adding additional locations without the right model and with trying to reinvent the model.
Okay, so that's what y'all did. I didn't realize that you had. Okay.
So we incorporated like what KW, if you want to use, but I mean any corporation or any real estate company, doesn't matter, like an expansion model. But we went away from the foundation of the model, trying to come up with our own concept. And that's not to say like don't innovate, don't do things outside the box. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're going to do it, really make sure that you understand the scale, the numbers. Like those have been my massive learning lessons. And that's where we faltered. So we ended up growing really quickly. We grew to about 25 agents, and then we ended up reverting back to about 12. And then we've stayed now in that 12 to 15 agent range over the last 2 years, while we've just been really diving into our foundation and making sure that our numbers are strong, that our model is strong, and that what we've established is what is going to allow us now to grow and to scale. And I'm very proud of what we've turned around in the last 2 years. We have 13 agents, and we're just, I think we just almost closed 150 million so far. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm really proud of our team.
Yeah. And so what's the structure of your leadership?
Yeah. So we're kind of set up a little bit differently in the fact that we have a senior partner leadership role, which is not a partner of the actual company, but a senior partner leadership position with an aspect of responsibility and a certain split compensation and things like that. That does carry a very, very strong and substantial leadership role in helping to grow the company, but most of all to provide, skill training and just support and things like that. But then from
Is that Sarah?
no, that's actually my business partners, Corey Harding and
Okay.
Cody Skripkowski. They're two top producing agents.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're the ones that we have in a senior partner leadership position. And then from an employee or a salaried position where we're working together, we have 3 positions. So we have an operations director, a sales director, and then client services, etc. So
Okay,
marketing
so
is some, yeah.
Sarah's
And then
operations. Who's your sales?
Bianca.
Bianca.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you know her.
Yeah, and I don't think I know the last one.
Sarah, Bianca. Oh, and no, you don't know her. You
Okay.
haven't met her yet.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
and so we're very set up in the same way. Sunny is my Sarah, and Kelly is my Bianca. So it's Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca. You met her.
Yeah. I met her several times.
In Nashville. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's okay. And then if from a training perspective, et cetera, because neither Sarah nor Bianca are licensed.
Yeah.
But then so from like a skills-based training perspective, it's myself, Corey, and Cody
Gotcha.
that roll out things like our seller mastery or buyer mastery, NGU, new agent training, business planning. That's what we do.
So yeah, that was another question. Like training is a huge part of what you do, correct?
Massive. Yeah. We rolled out North Group University.
Yeah.
Probably, I believe we started it in 2019. And then when COVID hit, we went virtual. So
Yeah.
we offered it to the entire industry through all of COVID, something that I just wanted to do to give back, to keep, bringing value to our industry that has brought so much value to me. And then once things kind of started to settle down, we brought it internal NGU. So everything that we do now from a training perspective is a lot of it is really based off of the feedback that we're getting of what's important. Like, what do we as team partners want to be trained on? And so that's where we're really putting our focus. We're in the process of going to relaunch something similar to NGU, where we're bringing training and value to the entire industry.
Yeah.
But we're going to call it something different, because NGU, North Group University, is what we're going to just keep internal for it as a benefit, a value add to being a partner at North Group.
Yeah. So what are 3 or 4 things that you think? Well, let's ask this question first. For team leaders and brokers, sorry, I already asked that one. My bad. What are 3 or 4 things that an agent needs to look for when they're looking, like, let's say they've been on a team and they're looking to maybe make a move, or someone that's from, another part of the country, they did a lot of real estate there, they're coming in and looking for something, not your new agent.
No, exactly. And I mean, I think honestly that you hear the same answers over and over again. But for me, the biggest thing, like I think an agent should be looking at is, are there others on that team or in that brokerage that have that have the experience and the knowledge that I want my business to look like, that I want to actually model my business after. And so if you can say, like, okay, I see this person's doing this type of business, they're building it out this way, or they're doing this type of volume, that's what I want to work towards. I think that's really crucial. Yeah. Culture is everything.
Yeah.
And we throw that word around way too much. It's something that it's something that I'm very proud of, what we created at North Group and the culture that we have that is so strong.
Yeah.
And that especially like when a pandemic hit, we didn't miss a beat as far as culture, because we were so we have established already both in person and virtual through Slack and other ways to communicate a level of connectivity and a level of culture. Like our team Slack channel is like, it's enough to give FOMO to any agent that doesn't have culture. I promise. Like it's really about that.
We do the same thing with Workplace, and it's really
100%. There's lots of different platforms you can use, right? And then I honestly think that I would like, I would say, are they focused on elevating the agent experience? Because I think that any company that focuses on their own will then translate then back to me as an agent being able to push that onto my clients. Because I think client experience starts in-house first. So we're all about, as it's known, like our slogan is experiences we're talking about, but the majority of what I spend my time on is agent experience, because then if we're wowing them, if that level of support and culture and experience is elevated and it's there through operational marketing, sales, training, everything, then it just gets it's easier, and it just gets automatically translated back to the client. So
and
those are my thoughts.
That's a big focus for us. I mean, like this year, I said I wasn't going to do new technology, but we just realized that we wanted to make sure that we had everything that anybody else had. And that's really important as an independent brokerage, right? Like, Moxie Present, that type of thing. We do the same thing with Cloud CMA. And then also with the training, we do high level training every month. And I'll tell you, if we don't have something good to talk about, then I won't even do it. Right. Absolutely. I'll cancel the meeting. I don't want to waste people's time. But like, even like the experiences, like we're doing a happy hour tonight, we're getting home sliced pizza. I've got like a chair massage girl coming in. So, just having that fun environment and with training, technology, and atmosphere,
100%.
So,
I agree.
So
it's not something that you can create overnight. Like, I think if anybody's listening to this and they're like, how do I get that level of culture that they're talking about? You have to start. It starts with you. I mean, that first and foremost, whether you are an agent, a solo agent, whether you're an agent on a team, whether you're a team leader, a broker, like whatever role you carry, it starts with you. So you have to be that change. And it starts with just elevating the level of it's little things. It's like one of my team partner said to me the other day that she's just like, I'm exhausted. I'm so burnt out. She's like, my husband broke his leg. She's like, I'm doing everything now around the house, plus running my business. She's like, I'm just so tired. And we were just chatting, and she had called me to ask me about help with a specific transaction, which was totally fine. But then just, checking in to see how she was doing. Well, then, 30 minutes later, she had a $25 Starbucks gift card in her inbox to say, like, I get it, and caffeine helps. That's all. Right. And it's not like I can do anything. I can't go clean her house for her, I can't go put her kids to bed, which, but I can show that I care. That's all. And so that's and you can't, that doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. But the wow factor.
It takes the right people, right? I mean, I couldn't do it without.
No, you can't do it with the wrong people. That's for sure.
I mean,
this saying that's floating around our industry a lot, and sometimes it's overused, but there's so much truth to it. Is that who you work with matters? It's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. It's the number one thing. Any mistakes you want to share with us that you might think people would benefit from?
Oh, where should I start?
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I make them all. That's why I always tell anybody who calls me and says, "Can I pick your brain?" Like, obviously, I am very strategic with my time, but any opportunity that I do have where it's the right time to spend with somebody, I'm like, please ask me anything, because I am an open book and I have definitely made some mistakes. So, however I can help. I mean, I think that one of the things that was really hard for me to learn, and someone might be listening to this and think, well, Amy, that's a no-brainer, but I didn't learn it in college, and then I didn't learn it in real estate school, and I didn't learn it at a conference, and that is run your real estate business as an agent, as a team, or as a brokerage, like an actual business. Think like a CEO, like know your numbers inside out and backwards, understand that profit and loss, look at your line items, like, and most, they don't teach you that. And so
Yeah.
maybe that's common sense if you have a degree or, you know, you learn that stuff. I didn't learn that in college. I didn't learn it in my corporate job. And I certainly didn't learn it at, you know, at getting my real estate license.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is common knowledge.
It's
People may think
not,
it
it's
is, but
not.
like, you know, with salespeople, you know, they think that they're independent contractors and like they have their own time, and that's all true. But if you're not extremely organized with that time,
Yeah,
you know, then you're not going to prosper.
you can only make so much money flying by the seat of your pants.
Yes.
I'm convinced of it. So
Yes.
you might have the gift of gab, you might be amazing on the phone, you might be super smart knowing the market,
Yeah.
but if you don't get control of your business and your schedule, you will never scale past whatever you're making. Bottom line, I'm convinced of it.
Yeah. And so what's interesting is, you know, I interview agents all the time. And, you know, one thing you said before about like, you know, how to pick an agent and how to pick a brokerage or team, whatever. Agents never look at other, like I never have anybody ask me, what's the production of the team? Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty important, right? Just to make sure that you're not like, you know, I'm going to use Austin numbers, that you don't have a team full of, you know, 70 agents that do 2 million.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
you want, and I'm not saying that the whole brokerage needs to be, you know, whatever, 10, 20 million, but you just want to make sure that you're, that there are people that you can look up to in that brokerage.
Absolutely.
And I think that was one of the things you said was really amazing. What is next for North Group?
Oh my goodness. Well, we are really, we're really focused on, you know, making our model, the platform that we've established now over the last 2 years, more vocal, so that we can grow. And we're looking to grow with the right people. We grow slower and more incrementally because it takes longer to find those people, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm in full-time production. I love it. I'm enjoying it. We have a lot, we have a handful of very, very strong top producers on our team,
Yeah.
which is, and because of the model that we've implemented, which is like, even you and I talked about, it's like a bit more of like a team brokerage hybrid model.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking to be in business with, you know, about 6 more team partners that want to plug into our platform and are looking to be powered by North Group, because we have spent now the last number of years really creating a strong foundation so that you don't, number one, have to do it alone.
Yeah.
You don't have to go out and learn all the skills and have the outlay of funds to hire, you know, marketing staff, operational staff, client services, and then you've got the sales, the mentorship, the leadership, the training, the accountability, you know, that you're looking for in order to scale your business.
Well, and I can speak as a source that anyone that would be looking at a brokerage like you know, we've collaborated for years now, and I think we have the same mentality of the service to the agents. Absolutely. And they'd be really beneficial to go to your team. I think Thanks. You guys are great. And so where can people find you if they're watching this and they want to follow you online?
Yeah, for sure. My Instagram handle is @AmyYoungren_. My phone number is 416-624-8854 or northgroup.com.
Awesome. Well, you're one of my favorite people ever.
Likewise, Ryan.
The favorite people in real estate. Such a good friend. And thank you for doing this with me.
My pleasure. Thank you.